In today's video, we're going to take a look at the most iconic Cleveland Cavaliers moments. One of the most stirring moments in the history of the Cleveland Cavaliers was when Ted Stepien said goodbye as the worst owner in Cavs history. He made a series of mistakes as he had no experience of operating a franchise professionally. Stepien made questionable trades and numerous changes in the staff during his 3-year reign that left fans in Cleveland questioning their alignment with the Cavaliers and gave the franchise a loss of about $15 million during his tenure. Then finally, as a miracle, Gordon Gund appeared as a savior for the Cavs by purchasing the team for $20 million in 1983 and made remarkable changes in the franchise staff. The franchise flourished under Gordon's ownership, reached the playoffs in 10 of the next 15 years, and moved from the Richfield Coliseum to Gund Arena in downtown Cleveland. The Cleveland Cavaliers made history in the 1992 playoffs. The Cavs and Celtics needed 7 games to declare a winner. Cleveland had their own trio of Mark Price, Larry Nance, and Brad Daugherty that led the team to a win in the deciding 7th game held at the Richfield Coliseum, and they were selected for the 1993 NBA All-Star Game. A forgotten achievement that made history in the franchise is when the Cavs set a record of 83 points in a half during the same season. Isn't that mind-boggling? Winning the 2003 NBA Draft Lottery was a breath of fresh air for Cavs admirers, as since the team's playoff appearance in 1998, the Cavs had 6 consecutive losing seasons with no playoff action. Cavaliers fans knew what was at stake leading into the 2003 Draft Lottery. Akron's former favorite son, LeBron James, was the key to unlimited success. The next Michael Jordan, a player who could rehabilitate any struggling team. After 5 years of losing seasons, the team was in desperate need of a superstar. Fans congregated at bars and at homes to see if something could go right for the struggling franchise. The ping pong balls bounced the right way that night, and Cavaliers fans celebrated like they had won an NBA title. James helped the franchise return to its winning ways, making the playoffs in 5 of the next 7 years. LeBron James and the Cavaliers did not make the playoffs in his first 2 seasons. That all changed in 2006 when the rivalry began with the Washington Wizards. In his first playoff series, James averaged 35.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 0.7 blocks per game. He shot 51% from the field and 38.2% from 3. Beating the Pistons to reach the 2007 NBA Finals was another achievement for the franchise in the 2006-2007 season. Down 2 games to start the 2007 NBA playoffs, Cavaliers fans feared that the Pistons may beat them, resulting in the same outcome as the previous year's playoff elimination to the Pistons. But Cleveland showed resiliency to win the next 4 games. Game 6 might go down as one of the greatest performances in NBA history. LeBron James was unstoppable, scoring 48 points in a thrilling double overtime victory. The Pistons were one of the best teams at the time. The term super team was not around back then, but you can probably put that Pistons team in that category for the years they dominated. In Game 5, where James just totally triumphed over by destroying the Pistons on his own, that's still the most dominant game basketball fans have ever seen by a single player. The Cavs ultimately defeated the Pistons in 6 games after James' dominant performance in Game 5 and Daniel Bobby Gibson's breakout game in Game 6. That was James' first NBA Finals appearance back in 2007. James averaged 25.7 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. He shot 44.9% from the field and 35.7% from 3. Winning against Boston during the end of the 2008-2009 regular season was another iconic moment in franchise history. The Cavaliers did everything right in the 2008-2009 regular season by winning 66 games, a franchise record. The season was also notable for the team's 13-game winning streak and for winning the second most games at home in NBA history. The most satisfying game was a 107-86 win against the Boston Celtics. In 2009, against the Orlando Magic in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, in order to tie the series at 1, the Cavs defeated the Magic 96-95. James on the night managed to earn 35 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. This memorable win of LeBron James in Cleveland Cavaliers history was a finish to remember, a legacy to forget. After failing to return to the NBA Finals for 3 consecutive years, LeBron James joined the Miami Heat. His departure from Cleveland left deep psychic wounds to the city. The darkest hour for Cavaliers fans was also a moment of strength and unity, led by Cavs owner Dan Gilbert's open letter to the Cleveland fans. The statements made by Gilbert embodied all of the feelings that angry fans were holding inside, by reassuring fans that the Cavaliers' direction still pointed towards a championship in the midst of the cowardly betrayal. Cleveland fans were sadly the only ones that showed up for the first home game against the Heat on December 2, 2010. The city of Cleveland showed that LeBron was not greeted in his former place of employment. The Cavs smoked the Heat despite LeBron James' triple-double. After going through a tough season in 2010-2011, the Cavaliers were in need of a little bit of luck and a spark, which came at the 2011 NBA Draft, held on June 23, 2011, when it was announced that the Cavs would receive the first overall pick in the draft later that summer. Cleveland grabbing the first pick was surely big news, and their previous trade brought this treat onto the table. But one of the most iconic moments of the night was when 14-year-old Nick Gilbert, the Cavaliers' draft lottery representative and son of Chairman Dan Gilbert, was photographed pumping his fist in celebration. Thanks to the good luck of Nick, who served as the representative on the podium in that moment, Nick represented what the entire Cavs fan base felt that night. The next month, Cleveland would go on to select a pair of future stars, with Kyrie Irving, the number 1 overall pick, and Tristan Thompson, the number 4 overall pick. The rest, they say, is history. Irving would go on to live up to the hype after being selected number 1 overall in the 2011 NBA Draft. The former Duke Blue Devil took home one of the most coveted awards in the league, the NBA Rookie of the Year award, after his 2011 NBA Draft selection. Ask any Cavs fan, and they'll tell you exactly where they were on July 11, 2014. LeBron James, who spent 7 seasons in Cleveland from 2003 to 2010, announced that he was returning to Ohio to once again play for his hometown, 4 years after taking his talent to South Beach. After leaving something that took a long time to create, LeBron realized he had some unfinished business with the Cleveland Cavaliers. 4 years after he bolted to Miami in the pursuit of an NBA championship that had previously eluded him, LeBron James, at the age of 29, now with 2 NBA titles, joined the Cavs once again for another historic moment in Cleveland Cavaliers history. By spring of 2015, the Cavaliers were rolling through the NBA playoffs. However, a few setbacks, including injuries to Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, were tough obstacles to overcome. But by making wise decisions, the franchise managed to move forward towards the championship. When he said, "I came back for a reason. I came back to bring the championship to our city," he was speaking from the core of his heart. LeBron James had spent the past 2 seasons lugging his city's championship dreams like a bag of rocks. On a Sunday night before a dazed and defeated crowd at Oracle Arena, history was made when LeBron James delivered on the grandest stage of his superhuman career. The Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Golden State Warriors and got their first championship with a 93-89 victory in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. James scored 27 points, had 11 assists, and 11 rebounds to punctuate one of the most remarkable individual performances of his career. Kyrie Irving played a major role as a helping hand, whose three-pointer with 53 seconds remaining gave the Cavs the lead. He finished with 26 points and helped the Cavaliers survive 3 elimination games. James was named the finals most valuable player, and the Cavaliers became the first team to rally from a 3-1 series deficit to win a championship. This victory always gives back to people who are true to the game. This NBA championship made history and was worth recognition. It was a special moment in the lives of all Clevelanders who came together that day in June to celebrate a common goal. Another year, another Eastern Conference championship, and another trip to the NBA Finals. On May 15, 2017, LeBron James walked off the court after defeating the Boston Celtics 135-102 in Game 5 of the 2017 NBA Eastern Conference Finals at the Garden in Boston. LeBron played at a high level and scored 38 points, grabbed 9 rebounds and 7 assists in Game 1. Kevin Love added a playoff career-high 32 points and 12 rebounds to help the Cavaliers improve to 9-0 in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. And the Cavaliers remained undefeated in the playoffs with a 117-104 win over the Celtics. Cleveland was on top of the basketball world, adding yet another piece of hardware to their growing title collections. Of course, this wasn't Cleveland's last Eastern Conference Finals title. In the coming years, the squad would go on to win their 4th straight conference trophy, their 5th overall in team history. In the Cavs' 4th straight trip to the NBA Finals in 2018, they were swept by the Golden State Warriors and came up just short of the ultimate goal of the league. The Cavaliers walked out of Quicken Loans Arena following their series-ending Game 4 loss to the Warriors on a Friday night. Surprisingly, they were so proud of their accomplishments despite being swept out of the 2018 NBA Finals. Make sure to leave this video a like and click on the video that appears on your screen to keep watching.